Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at something almost all of us have had done at some point, the full blood count test, or FBC.
That's right.
We're pulling our key takeaways directly from the guide over at Blood Test UK, and we're zeroing in on what it all means for you, specifically in the Halifax area.
And it's a good place to start, because when we say FBC, we're really just talking about counting the tiny helpers in your blood. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly detailed.
Okay, so what are these helpers?
You've got three main groups. First, your red blood cells, the ones carrying oxygen everywhere. Then you have the white cells, your germ fighters.
Your internal army.
Exactly. And finally, platelets. They're the little guys that help your blood clot when you get a cut.
Right, so our mission for this deep dive is to unpack the huge benefits of this simple test, and crucially, where you can actually get it done in Halifax. Okay, let's unpack this.
Well, doctors ask for an FBC all the time because it's, a brilliant first look. If you're feeling tired, pale, it can quickly spot things like anemia.
Which is when you don't have enough of those oxygen carriers, the red cells.
Precisely. Or, on the flip side, if your white cell count is really high, it tells the doctor your body is fighting off an infection somewhere.
And here's where it gets, I think, really interesting. The Blood Test UK guide highlights that FBC tests can help find much more serious issues, right? Even spotting unusual changes early on.
Yeah, this is a key point. We're talking about clues for serious conditions like leukemia or other blood cancers.
How does a simple count do that?
It's about looking at the numbers and the types of cells. If the proportions of different white cells are way off, or if it spots immature cells that shouldn't be in the bloodstream, that's a major red flag that something's happening back at the source in the bone marrow.
Wow, so it's an early warning system.
A very effective one, and that's also why it's great for monitoring your health over time.
Ah, so not just for finding new problems.
Not at all. If you have a long-term condition, maybe diabetes or heart disease, or you're on a certain medication, the FBC is a way to check in, to see how your body is coping.
Or to see if a medicine is working.
Yes, or even if it's causing problems. It helps doctors make really smart, informed choices about your ongoing care.
Okay, so this is a simple, powerful test. Let's get practical. For our listeners in Halifax, the Blood Test UK site mentions a few places. Where can someone go?
Access is pretty straightforward, actually. You can get an FBC at the big NHS hospitals like Calderdale Royal Hospital and Huddersfield Royal Infirmary.
Usually through your GP, I assume?
That's the main route, yes. But the guide also lists private clinics in the area, which are another option.
Right, which brings up the question of cost. Through the NHS, it's free, correct?
If your doctor orders it, yes, it's free. The private options, like the ones you might see on the Blood Test UK site, they can cost somewhere between, say, £30 and £50.
So what's the trade-off? Is it just about speed?
For most routine checks, yes, it's mainly convenience. You might get an appointment sooner. But in some cases, that speed can be important, if a doctor needs to adjust a medication quickly based on the results.
And what about preparation? Do you need to fast or anything like that?
Usually not for an FBC, no, but two things are important. Always tell the person taking the blood about any medicines you're on. And drink enough water.
Why water?
Being dehydrated can actually skew some of the results, making them look a bit off when they're not. So stay hydrated.
So when we boil it all down, what does this all mean? The FBC test is a really simple, quick way to get a big picture of what's going on inside your body.
A huge picture from a tiny sample of blood. It helps find problems early, and it helps manage health long term.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, as the Blood Test UK guide suggests,
then having easy access to tests like the FBC really helps a community like Halifax stay ahead of health problems. It's about being proactive.
So we'll leave you with a final thought to explore. The test is great at showing if there's a problem, like say you have too many white cells fighting something.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always tell you what germ they're fighting.
That's a great point.
So what kind of second test might a doctor order to find out the specific cause, the exact bug behind that high white blood cell count? That's something for you to explore.